So what's up, fellas?
What is up?
What
How you
is
doing,
up?
Joe?
Basically, what we're going to do on here is just we're going to talk about everything Venom, comic wise, collectible wise, movie wise. We're just going to talk shit and just have fun. So this is not going to be a kid friendly thing. We are adults, and as you can tell, we love this character. We love this hobby. So we're really going to get into it. Okay. So
We're just
with
grown up
that being
kids.
said,
That's it.
that's it. The only difference is we can say shit and fuck, and there you go. Kevin, I want to thank you for coming on, man. You are literally. Thank you for showing me how to get this to work.
No problem, man.
Matt, it's always a pleasure, man. In the future,
Hell
there's
yeah,
gonna
bro.
definitely be more guests. There'll be some more guests. I'm gonna eventually try to bring on a lot of people and just talk the shit. But anyway, what's up?
What's up, man? Let's get this shit going.
Hells yeah.
We got a couple new Symbiote books that came out this week. I guess let's just go ahead and talk about it. Anything that we may have picked up new this week. For me, I didn't go to the comic shop yet. I didn't pick anything up, so I just came here and got working on this. But recently, let's see if I can get a good view on this.
Nice.
This is a dead Venom pool. It's a chase card from the Deadpool Upper Deck series from 2018. It's like plexiglass. It's like clear, but it's the Matina art.
Cool.
Just got this in. I actually met a guy on a Facebook group that was like in a card collecting group, and he posted one of them for sale, and I've been looking everywhere for it. It's super hard to find, so I'm super happy about that. And then this finally came in the mail today.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice.
Extreme Carnage. Yep, Omega, the 1 in 50, anti-venom. Matt, you were saying that you actually did go to the comic shop, and there was a couple books out, so if you would like to show anything off, man, go for it.
Yeah, I've been behind on my books, bro. I've been working on this statue stuff, so I am trying to catch up on the Extreme Carnage stuff. So I literally just got all these. First off, I got these A covers in. These are dope. I got the Agony. Need a. Cause I had all these 1 in 50s, but I didn't have all the A covers, so I wouldn't pick these up. Toxin, I love that cover. This guy here.
Sick.
I mean, I think these A covers are really like a highlight of the whole thing. I seriously think the only like variant that I picked up was the Silence one, just because it's a first cover appearance. I think a lot of people missed that because, I mean, this is like the only like new symbiote that came out of this series, and this is the first time she comes out on the cover. So I thought that was a necessity to grab. You don't got that one. That one's gonna go up when she comes. When she's gonna pop back up some way, shape, or form. So we'll go pick that one up. And then the only other one that I really wanted to have was the going crazy about these Stormbreaker joints. I was in love with this one, the She-Hulk. So I need to pick up the rest of the Stormbreaker ones. My shop didn't get a lot of them, so I'm gonna have to hunt them down online. But I thought this one was dope, and I love how it's like almost like a virgin.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you the title. Definitely just enjoy the art. So those are some of the stuff I picked up this week. I didn't go to the shop today, but I went yesterday.
I came straight home and started working on getting this all set up, so I didn't pick anything up. But yeah, the Stormbreakers are they're beautiful covers. They're fucking sick. But speaking of Extreme Carnage, how about that ending?
I haven't caught up on Extreme Carnage. This is a storyline that I'm kind of sleeping on a little bit.
It's setting the stage real big for this upcoming Venom series. I love the fact that they're putting Carnage in like a strong political position to really come back and make make some waves. So I'm excited for it, man. I'm loving it so far. I thought it was a good series. I mean, definitely better than Absolute Carnage. Let's be real. But yeah, I like the fact that they brought in all these like cool symbiotes back into the game. You know, we get Silence, we get, Toxin comes back, we get Anti-Venom. There's a whole ton of awesome artwork in that storyline. So seriously, that set the stage for big.
Anti-Venom's back? Oh, Agent Anti-Venom is back. Yeah.
Flash.
Yeah.
It was awesome. I liked it.
It was good. Just the fact that Jebby put it beautifully, man. It turned into a symbiote like Civil War, and it was just all out war. It was pretty much every symbiote you could think of that could be involved was involved, and I forget
Sleeper too.
the guy's name. Yeah, Sleeper, dude. It was awesome to see Sleeper back and actually not being a fucking cat. That was pretty cool.
Did Sleeper
Yeah.
do something?
Yeah, he was cutting heads off and kicking ass,
What?
dude.
It was
He
good. You
wasn't
need
a
to read it,
cat.
bro. You need to read that one. It's good.
Okay, all right. If Sleeper finally does something, then I might pick this up now.
It's worth the read, and just that issue alone, Carnage, the one guy that's pretty much running for governor or whatever he's running for, Carnage jumps up on stage, just grabs him and just tears him in half, and it's just blood and guts everywhere. And as good as Absolute Carnage was, we didn't really get any type of.
Yes.
There was nothing
Where,
like that.
where
So
was
just
Carnage?
just to see that.
Absolute carnage minus the carnage.
Yes.
But yeah, just to see that blood like that, it was just like, finally. I didn't get the She-Hulk. My LCS didn't have it, but I got the Moon Knight Blade and Wolverine ones. That Wolverine one is a banger, dude.
Yeah, it
I
looks
think that's
dope.
done by
I like it a
Gleason.
lot.
I'm a fan
That's
of
the
that.
one with like the bloody claws. That's the
Yes.
Patrick
Yeah.
Gleason.
So
Yeah.
nice.
That one was cool.
And just to bring it up for a quick second, the issue that everybody's having to endure with Penguin. A lot of shops are either not getting things, or if they do, they're just completely damaged.
Oh
so
yeah, that's a nightmare.
fingers
Shipping
fingers
nightmare.
crossed that fingers crossed that they get that under control. But yeah, Kevin, anything for you? You got anything in your sights? Anything you're hunting for?
I don't have anything new. I mean, I've been trying to kind of like keep New Comic Book Day on the download. Not that I go like crazy on New Comic Book Day, to be honest. Like I'll pick up like maybe a few issues here and there. Like right now, non-symbiote related, I'm reading Swamp Thing and The Last Ronin. That's pretty much it. But I've been trying to like ease back on new comic books because I don't really have too much room for them, to be honest. But one thing I do have on my sites right now is ever since you motherfuckers came on my channel with your badass Maximum Carnage books. I don't remember what grades you guys have, but I was like, man, you know, that book is just so sick. And like, you know, the Maximum Carnage Acclaim variant is on my sites right now. And yeah, there it is. Sick. Absolutely sick, dude. Yeah. So I've been kind of looking at one. I've been looking at a couple actually, and I'm a little nervous to pull the trigger on any of them because I've kind of gone way over budget for this year for comic books, like way over budget, not just a little bit, way over. And so like this is a book that is like super, super awesome. I mean, this book is super nostalgic to me. Like my brother and I, you know, we grew up together playing video games, and that was one of the video games that we played to death. That game was absolutely fucking hard to play, actually, too.
It was, dude.
It was so hard.
It was.
Yeah.
Are you
looking to buy this raw, or are you buying it slabbed already, bro?
I don't usually buy books raw and get them graded. I don't usually play that game. I usually have a grade in mind. But I found one on Instagram. This guy has a 9.6. It's a hefty price. It really is. I talked him down like $200 of what he was asking for, but it's still a really, really hefty price. And I think I might want to just find something in a lower grade. I mean, a 9.6 is a beautiful book, especially for that one. I don't know how many copies they made of that book, but I want to estimate it's around 3,000 to 5,000 copies, give or take. But it's a ghost of a book, dude. I mean, when that book came out, or when that book came out with those video games, nobody gave a shit about that book. Everyone was just all about the video game. So toss that to the side, or give it to your little brother, like, here, take this while I go play the game to distract you. Or mom threw it away or something. And plus the book is really cheaply made. It's not made with the same paper as regular comic books, so it's super, super thin. And so that's why this book is kind of a ghost. Like a lot of them were thrown out or trashed, even with the low print run that they had already. So this, like I said, this book is really sort of a ghost.
Yeah, I think the book, correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, because I know I had mine raw, you had yours raw before you created it. It's like 20 pages. It's super, super small.
It's extremely thin.
That's what you said.
It's an abridged version of Maximum Carnage, the full issue, the first one. So
Yeah,
it's only like the first couple pages. It's like a reprint almost.
it's
like
half of like it's like half of
probably-
Spider-Man Unlimited #1, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So they probably like did it as like a promo, like, hey, before this book gets published, check the first couple pages out with the game.
Did that come out before Maximum Carnage?
It really did, because it came. So that comic book came with the video game. The video game came out to help sell the comic book issues, almost like what Marvel did with Secret Wars. You know, they had that whole toy lineup with Mattel, I believe it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so those toys were to help sell the comic books, and they used the same sort of formula for Maximum Carnage. So yes, that book did come out before Spider-Man Unlimited #1.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, the way people go about things, wouldn't that technically be the first appearance of Shriek?
If she's in it, then I would say so. Yeah.
Her
She
first
is.
appearance is in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
So would
funny
that
because on the CGC
technically
label, it doesn't say anything about the release. It says Acclaim Entertainment Promotional.
Yeah.
Partial photo cover. That's all it says. There's no information about the book or anything like that. It's like they're more like, oh, it's a video game collectible, the CGC, instead of a comic book collectible. It's interesting.
Right. So
Because-
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Matt.
No. I was gonna see if I could find my first appearance of Shriek to compare it, because that has like a paragraph on the label of everything that happens in that book, and this is Jack on it.
Yeah.
Well, with the actual first Maximum Carnage, I would assume that's like the official book, so they're not going to look at a promo. If it's like that, and I would say that that's also the first appearance of Shriek. So
Yeah.
the first true appearance. That's a good point to bring up. So yeah, like we've been saying, a ghost of a book, dude, and it's just such a fantastic cover, dude. I mean, that cover by Bill Sienkiewicz is just like, it brings you right back, dude, with that red cartridge game. You know what I mean? Like,
dude, shout out for saying his last name correctly. That was like effortless, like. But real quick, Lethal, what's up, dude? Thanks for stopping by, man. Definitely appreciate you popping by.
Rich.
That book, in comparison to any other book that anyone else would kind of know about, the Venom movie, the comic that came with it, how thin it is. It's like it's like tissue paper, damn near.
Yeah.
That book, it's about the same. Like they're about the same thickness, I would say.
this is the one I'm watching on eBay right now.
Keep the hunt alive, baby.
Yeah, man.
Keep the hunt alive.
What do you
What's
think?
that grade?
It's bound to happen.
9.2.
9.2. I'd say anything above a 9 is respect. That's just, it's so hard to find in a high grade.
It's true. But here's the thing though, right? So like, just like you have been going through like sort of like a statue like revamp, right? I'm kind of going through a little bit of a revamp of myself here. Like, I'm actually trying to upgrade books that I have in the collection. I'm going to try to stay away from 9.0s and 9.2s if possible. So like books that I really care about right now that are in those grades, I'm currently trying to upgrade them. I'm selling them, using the profits, for the upgrade, and making a little bit money on them because of the market is way different from when I bought those books initially.
It's super respectable that you're going through and trying to like make everything uniform. Every collector has their own like what grades are satisfying and what grades are not for certain years. Like for me, if it's like Silver Age or Golden Age, I'm okay with an 8.0. But if it's like do you get the 9.4 or do you have to have the 9.6 type of deal if it's a modern type of thing? that's a Terry collect to each their own. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, if it's like, like my Bronze Age books, like, I'm not going to do it, obviously. But like, if it's like a more of a modern book, then yeah. So like, for instance, I have a Spawn 1 signed by Todd that I've been trying to sell at a really good freaking deal. And I can't believe nobody has like snagged it up yet. But it's a 9.6. And like that book to me, like I had it, I bought it at a 9.4, pressed it and cleaned it, got the bump, was really pumped about that. But I was like, there's so many copies of this book, and this book is so modern. Like this book for me, especially how much I really like this character Spawn, like this has to be a 9.8 for me. Like this 9.6 is not satisfying me.
See, I felt the same way.
Because the new movie that he's directing is coming out soon. So then at that point, that book's going to be unreachable.
Soon.
Right? You got Jamie Foxx, right?
yeah. As long he's still alive, they'll do the movie, right?
Right.
For real though, I felt the same way. Like I kind of want to have a uniform CGC collection of all 9.8s, but realistically, like get the fuck out of here. Some of these books, if you don't have it and you're just trying to buy it straight out, flat out 9.8, good luck. Yeah. Real quick, Lethal, at my last con, I came across the red hardcover Leather Carnage book that was with the special edition box set. Dude wanted 500 smackers, but I got to hold it at least. Dude, I want the cartridge, man. I used to have the red cartridge when I was younger, and I kind of want one, but
I do too, dude. I so want one, and my brother and I have been wanting to get a Super Nintendo again, just so we can play these old games. And that was the first one, dude. I was like, if we do this, dude, like the first game I'm going after is Maximum Carnage. Like, I need to play that game again. I need to hear that intro song. Like, no more on this YouTube shit. Like, like Maximum Carnage.
I need to hear that intro.
Like, I need to hear that intro coming from that red cartridge, okay?
Dude, start moshing whoever's next to you. Green fucking jelly, baby.
So like another book besides that Maximum Carnage too, another book that I would like to get slabbed. I already have a raw copy of it, but I would really like to get a Bride of Venom issue #1. In a 9.8, that would be pretty cool because I just love that cover. That cover is absolutely sexy. It's banging,
dude. That is one of my favorites.
Rising Crust. Wasn't there a separation anxiety for Super Nintendo? And yes, there was. And seriously, I never played that game. Not once have I ever played that game.
I saw
I'm a fuck up.
The artwork advertised was awesome. Looked legit.
Yeah, the cover. Yeah, it is badass. I've always seen it. I've always been aware of it, but for some odd ass reason, I never played that. Like speaking of like Super Nintendo and shit, do you all remember Aliens versus Predator? I know you do, man. The video game.
Yes, I do, bro.
That was my jam.
Yes.
But yeah, for some reason, never played a Separation Anxiety.
No, I never played that one either.
Well, guys, Donnie Cates is officially done with Venom. It's been long enough. I feel like we can talk about whatever the hell we want regarding this. There's a lot going on. So, all said and done, Matt, what do you think about the entire series? Like from what Venom was to what it is now? What do you think?
I've said it before in our previous videos on Superpower Review. When we were going over the last part of the series, and in the beginning, all the death threats and everything he was receiving, and this and that, and it was kind of like, oh, like is he screwing it up? Like is it a bad thing? And then. Now that we're at the end and we're seeing like the avenues that he's opened for the character. I mean, I think most Venom fans are all thankful that it happened because it's putting him on a cosmic level to where he can literally, he's in the same level as like Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers, like any huge title that Marvel's putting out. Venom is like it's a contender now because he could just show up anywhere. Like. He's now the god of light thing, the god of symbiotes, like all that is so new that it can literally like cameo anywhere in any story at this point, and it would make sense. So that I appreciate in itself, that you bring in the character to a level that it's not just a C anti-hero character, it's an A character that can contend anywhere in the Marvel universe. That is what I love about Donny Cates' run. At the beginning with the slow burn and the null thing and like what are you gonna do, like this just an old looking guy, like he's just creeping, Like no one knew what was going to happen. And then by the end, like we're like, oh snap! Like this is a good story. Like King in Black was fun. You know, Absolute Carnage was fun, kind of. And then we
in the beginning,
yes. And then but all those little like side stories brought together the full run in itself. And I gotta say, I thoroughly enjoyed it overall as the full picture now, more so than the beginning. And now we see we see the Donny Cates is like having meetings with, Hasbro and all these like big companies making these Null figures, and this is a character that's gonna come back. Like this is not the end of Null, and now we're hearing
we're going to talk about that.
I may be jumping the gun here, but all kinds of rumors that Sony Pictures.
You're jumping the goddamn gun.
So we'll see how this goes. I honestly, when I read the last issue, I was like, he's dead. Like Null's gone. What's such an amazing villain. Like,
yeah, but we know it's comic books, dude. Nobody really dies in comic books, so like.
But
and
okay,
there
the
you
way
go.
he dies, though. I mean, he hasn't. Who gets vaporized like that to like obliteration, like to atoms, and comes back?
Jeb's a little theory that he came up with where he was saying, what if it was just an avatar and he's just chilling somewhere else? Like that makes so much goddamn sense.
That would be the easiest way to write him back, dude. And that sells. That sounds good. Like I just ate that up. Like I just bought it. Make it happen.
Yeah, but like he would still be connected to the hive mind, which Eddie is completely controlling at this point. So he would have sensed him somewhere, right?
True, but
again, it's comic books. Nobody fucking knows.
No one cares about the logic. It's just comics.
I mean, with the new series, God only knows what we're about to have happen. With Donny Cates' series, I was open to it just to see. I wasn't happy with we just came out of the Lee Price series, right? Eddie Brock came back, and then we had Land Before Crime and all that dog shit, and then it was just refreshing, like.
Dinos and comic books, not for me.
I mean, sometimes it works, but man, that one fell on his face.
Yeah, it did.
It seemed very, very refreshing to be able to read a Venom comic and just have no idea where we're going. I mean, we got fucking dragons flying around, we got White Walkers, and everything. You know what I mean? It was refreshing.
It was very refreshing.
Where it was going.
And like
Toxin is back. Lethal.
There were so many things. There's so many things that we said on my channel too that like it's so it's definitely worth bringing back up. But dude, like when Venom 1 came out and we reviewed that on our channel, you and I were super pumped and we're like, dude, this has hope. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know who the fuck Donny Cates was. All right, but until he started writing Venom, I was like, all right, dude, like this guy is doing shit with him. And it's just like what we said, like, look how many, like, throughout this whole series, like, again, nobody fucking cared about Venom. And then all of a sudden Donny Cates touches it and everybody wants to fuck with Venom now. And it's like, I'm a huge Venom fan. I used to call people out on this. Like, no, you're fucking not, dude. You just are because Donny Cates is writing him now. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, but so like the whole thing, like Donny Cates for me explored different nooks and crannies with Venom that were very interesting. They grounded him by making him a dad, which I liked. There were a lot of things that I liked about what he did with him. The only thing that I would have changed or like to see more about Venom is giving him those rage outs, you know what I mean? Or kind of losing control a little bit. That was the only thing that about Donny Cates' Venom is what I miss, is that hulking Venom that would just tear shit up and, definitely have, a chip off of his shoulder and fuck shit up. You know what I mean? So that was the only thing that was really missing it for me. But, we got new characters that were brought in. We got Virus, who was really fucking cool, who I still miss to this day, dude. Those were some epic battles. And, like I could give a shit about Scorpion. Like make Matt Gargan continue to be Virus. Like that's so much more interesting. Or, You know what I mean? And of course,
do you guys remember the suspense of that entire like
yeah,
tease
Yeah,
where like
man.
we're discussing like who's virus, who's gonna be, who's gonna
yeah,
be, it's gonna
yeah.
be this, it's gonna be that. I kid you not, like that's where the internet was blowing up with like this virus character, and then
Everyone
he
was like crazy.
just died off, and I was like, oh man, all the suspense for such a slow ending. Boop.
But the last thing I'll bring up about my feels about Donny Cates's run, and the only way I can compare it to is if anybody has ever read Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, is where he kind of just took the whole origin of Venom and flipped it on its head and gave it a whole different, fresh, mind blowing take on it.
Yes.
And that's mainly what I enjoyed. Just being able to read it and being like, I have no clue where this is going. The whole virus thing, me and JFK's way, I said this before on your channel, man. We talked years ago about the whole idea was a liquid metal symbiote. And I was thinking is like Norman Osborn somehow stole the tech, the nanotech from Tony Stark. The what the hell is the suit? The extremis armor, and was able to basically make a metal symbiote. And Matt Gargan, being a fucking freak that he is, missed being Venom, so he was going to be the ultimate Venom Slayer. You know what I mean? He's going to be a metal fucking symbiote that had like guns and everything. And even Josh was like, "Yeah, man, they should call it a virus." And I was like, "Yeah, dude." And then years and years and years later, this series came out, and it was like watching it come to life in a like a different type of way. But that's why a character's so close. It's like I feel like me and Josh like we thought that into existence somehow, man. That was just too fucking close. Like the same name, the same character, the same concept, and then we actually got the extremis armor and got involved later on with the symbiotes in King and Black, and like everything about it. I love the marrying of Iron Man and Venom because they've encountered each other before, but it's been real brief and it was like nothing. And then now it's like Tony Stark's like studying symbiotes and shit, and it's like this is awesome. I like that.
Well, even when you were like coming on my channel, we're reviewing every single issue. You and I would come up with these predictions, and we hit the nail on the head a lot. You know what I mean? We're like next issue, like, hey, dude, like we were on it, dude. We sniffed that shit out.
Yeah.
We definitely feel it. We snipped this out right away. First off, Codex, Rising Cross asked, what about Codex? I personally think that was the most pointless fucking character of that entire series. I've never seen someone be so hyped to be this like crucial badass and then just get he just got immediately handled, and that was it. And it was just like, I love you, Dad, I love you, Mom, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
he fucked that table up though when he flipped it over. I'll give him that. He fucked that table up.
What was the name of that storyline? It was
Venom Beyond.
Venom Beyond.
Yes.
Thank you. Like that is like probably the only storyline within the Venom run of the Donny Cates run that was the most disappointing, the most useless to me. And like at the time when you were reading it, you're like, okay, yeah, this is kind of cool. But after it was all over, and I still think about it to this day, to be honest, I'm like, Venom Beyond was absolutely pointless and stupid. Like, it was just complete filler. Like, why do I even have these issues still in my box? Like,
yeah. I think that character is going to return in some way, shape, or form because that was the only storyline that brought Anne back. Remember?
Yes.
So that was a big
that's probably one of the coolest thing was Anne. Like
Agent Anne, right?
Agent Carnage was pretty cool too.
Yeah, the Agent Carnage was cool as well. But it was to see all the like Avengers Venomized was dope again. So, but yeah, the whole point of it, like him being Dylan of a parallel universe, like I think we're gonna see that yin and yang come back at some point with this new run. I don't see all that hype for nothing. I see a loose end that someone's going to take and run with eventually.
Someone will say like, hey, we had that Codex guy. Like, like, what can we do with him? You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
that's pretty much answering Rise and Crust's question. What if both Dylans fight each other in the future? Technically, they kind of did, even though
They kind of
Stegman
did.
said
Yeah.
it wasn't in continuity. Well, Carnage Black, White, and Blood issue 4. Uh, Joe Bennett did the art. Ryan Stegman wrote it, and it was basically Dylan as Venom going back to that universe to fight Codex, Dylan as Carnage.
Yep.
That
I
was
remember that.
cool, and then being told that it wasn't canon, it was just like this. That just solidifies that this whole fucking storyline is just shit.
Yeah.
I've
What
never
was the
seen such
point?
I've never
Yeah,
seen such
yeah.
a build up fall flat on his face like that. Like that was just like.
But what
man.
also was confusing, which this may be a loophole for Null, is where in that universe was Null this whole time? If Dylan was
Very
running
good question.
the game, where was Null in that universe? They never really said where he was, so that might be a doorway for him to come back in the future. Because they might have killed him in the regular issue, but in this Venom Beyond universe, maybe there's still a Null. Who
Mhm.
knows?
So with we'll just go ahead and segue to the new upcoming series, which it just got delayed. It was originally due for
Okay.
October 27th, I believe, and then it's pushed back. Hey, I'm looking at it this way. Talking about Penguin earlier, if they're pushing it back for quality control, they fucking better. I am not trying to get Venom issue 1 showing up beat to shit. That's the only damn comic I collect. Like, don't fucking do it, Penguin. Don't you fucking do it. I'm fine with them pushing it back. It's been a nice break to
I'll beat
not
you
have
like
to.
Batman Penguin. That was bad. I'm sorry.
But it's been a nice break to not, have a. I mean, I guess we still got these Stormbreakers and all, whatever. But it's nice to have a break from
The
Venom
problem
comics
with
steadily
those
coming out
delays,
every week.
man, is these speculators are just ruining the market with these variants, and it's like then you get the leaked images online, and like now this is this new first appearance of this Meredith cat in this first issue, and everyone's like ooh and it's delayed again, so it's just giving all these people to say, this is the $100 book. You either buy it at that or you leave it. It's like don't we haven't even read it yet, and it's really annoying that spec market is ruining it because of this delay.
We have surpassed almost 50 fucking covers for issue 1.
Exactly.
50 fucking covers. Are you all high? Are you all high? That is an entire short box of just one issue.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here with that shit. That is greed, and that's the thing. Are they doing that with Spider-Man? Are they doing that with X-Men? Are they doing that with, whatever fuck? No, it's Venom. And even if it's not Venom, and if they do an exclusive for Spider-Man or fucking Shang-Chi or Doctor Strange, he's fucking Venomized for no apparent reason. Like,
Right.
it's over the top. I literally was damn near full completionist with Venom from beginning to fucking end, including variants. And then this exclusive game started, and it's like, if you think I'm gonna sit here and buy 50 freaking covers per issue out of a
He
40. No,
This
no, I
motherfucker
started
will.
to for a little bit. I started to for a little bit, and it's just like this is too much. When you the love of your character starts to put a hurt on your fucking bank account, I highly suggest you take a step back. All right, not all these things are going to be worth $1 million. As a matter of fact, you find them on eBay and Facebook group sales for less than half of what they were. You know what I mean? Unless it's a super hot cover or the book's an actual first appearance or something huge. Fuck out of here with that shit, bro.
I've never gotten
Fuck outta
crazy
here.
into variants. Like there's sometimes where there's variants where like, yeah, you know what, that one is fucking sick and I need to have that. Like, yeah, I need to get that. I mean, it's as long as it doesn't cost more than $25. You know what I mean? Like I remember when Scorpion Comics came out with a couple of variants, I was like, I need to get those. Like those are pretty cool. And then also like I didn't really care. It's like, all right, I got the material. Like that cover's pretty cool. I'll just take that. You know what I mean? Jason Parker. Right. Fuck yeah, dude.
What's up, dude?
Fuck yeah.
Fucking right. But yeah, I mean, that's
my English brother right there.
That's the thing. If I could preach anything to my fellow Venom collectors out there, you don't need every damn exclusive. If there's one that really catches your eye and you're like, man, that's badass, fucking get it. If you find yourself looking at other ones like, and you still buy it, like, put the weed down, bro. Step back, disconnect, reassess what you're doing.
Yep.
Just take it easy. I think we need to kind of, it's up to us. If we keep buying this shit, they're going to keep pumping it out, and
Of course,
I
yeah.
think it's up to us. I
Speaking
have
of
gotten,
variants,
well, yeah, I have gotten the Yoon 3D glasses, the variant set, the trade and the virgin, and then I got the Clayton Crane Halloween trade and virgin, and that's it. That is it. I'm not buying anything else. Nothing really tickles my fancy like that anyway. So I'm not putting
Yeah,
myself in a poorhouse.
man, I put a hard stop to exclusives about, I want to say like 6 months ago, in the middle of Donny Cates, just because
it's just so overwhelming.
I think it was 25, issue 25 that I was just like, I'm done. I cannot proceed anymore, because by the time I was done buying covers, I could have funded one of these on my shelf, which is ridiculous.
Exactly.
Because I'm thinking about I love the artwork of the statues. I love the variant covers. I love being a completionist and having every single one organized. And I got OCD like that, But then when I realized the amount of money you're putting into these covers for the same goddamn book that I've read already, it's nerve wracking. So it's like I am on a massive binge of just selling off exclusives at this point, just because I will only buy exclusives if a particular artist puts it out. I will follow the artist and support the artist, but I will not support stores anymore as far as exclusives go. So
yeah,
I just number one, it degrades the incentive variants coming out that everyone's after, 1 in 25s, 1 in 50,
True.
1 in 100s. Number two, it honestly overplays the character. There's so many different covers, it almost makes you not want to read the book. It's annoying. You just said 50 covers. Is that accurate?
50,
we are almost at 50 covers for right
gosh.
now. I'll have to sit down and make a list if I have to, but it's
insane,
absurd, dude.
I think I maybe have seen
the
two that I can remember.
Maybe it's just me being a dickhead, but the ones that I've written, ooh, that one's nice. I've been posting previews for them. But I mean, I would literally have almost 50 different posts of previews. Maybe not 50, because I don't post the trade and then the virgin and then the fucking secret, whatever. I just post whatever the hell it is. So I mean, it's absurd. And by the end of Kate's series, we were reaching 40 to 50, almost 60 exclusive covers per issue.
Yeah, it's unreal.
It's insane.
I will do incentive variants. I will do second printings, and I will do A covers. But I will not do exclusives anymore.
I'm not a big fan of second printings.
I'm not doing it.
Oh, I love the second prints, especially when it's the
I don't understand the whole second print hype. I mean, I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I kind of collect. But variant covers, if Delato's doing it,
yes,
good majority of the time I'm picking that up.
Absolutely,
right.
I'm with you 100%. I'm personally a second print guy, just because it's to me that's the cover that no one is gonna buy, and I like to have the stuff that no one wants, because then it turns out, in the long run, if that ends up being a first appearance, that A cover is not worth a lot, but that second print's worth a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's an example of why I collect second prints.
Yes, show it off, bro.
Yeah.
Show it off. That's the
There
one
you
right
go.
there. That's the one
Kevin,
right there.
does this not do anything for you? Hold on.
It does. I like that one, but I prefer the one in the background.
The one in the background? Oh, yeah, the Adigranov right there.
Yeah, that one's for me.
That is my all-time favorite Venom cover. So touche.
Yeah,
but dude, how can you deny?
I do love it. I do. It's sick. But like I said, man, I would totally take that Adigranov any day, dude. When I first saw that Adigranov on shelves, dude, I was like, I need to have that.
This one I got.
It's that's
signed by JR himself. I like I had him remark it. I don't know if you can see this.
I like it because it blends in pretty nice.
Kind of blends in, yeah.
I had him color the eyes gold, so it kind of pops.
Oh, mate.
What's this book going for?
I've seen him out.
I've seen them. I haven't looked at that one in a very long time, but I have seen it in a 9.6 at 600, a little over 600, and I've seen 9.8s almost touching $1,000. But who knows? One mascot signed, remarked.
Look at Sleeper sleeping away.
Let me blow that up. Let's get our boy in there, Avocado Boy.
Avocado.
Avocado boy.
That glare sucks.
especially if a second print happens to just. I don't think that's the first cover appearance. I think that's not the first cover appearance, is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it?
I thought it
This
was.
is the first cover appearance. Yeah.
Yeah. So the anti venom is also the first cover
I think
appearance.
he's on an A cover.
I think he is too. I think issue 4 came out before that came out.
Yes, and then this came out. Yeah,
Oops.
you're right. But this was the first appearance in the book, first panel.
I'm clicking all kinds of things wrong. Yeah, but if that's the first print cover of the first appearance of Anti Venom, it's a nice cover. The Addy Runoff, like that is my all-time favorite. I'll never deny that. But this is probably one of the most badass like Anti Venom covers, in my opinion, and it's a second print. So
yeah, I think that was one of the books that really set off the second print.
Yes,
everyone had to have that first appearance, second print panel type thing.
When Anti-Venom came out, dude, I was so pumped about this character coming out. When I was reading Spider-Man at the time, I was like, dude, this is such a cool version, like, and how he would just like heal everybody, and it was like crazy about healing Spider-Man and stuff. And I was like, this is such a cool take on another symbiote.
I literally got out of collecting at that point, and the whole point of it was,
hey, thanks, Richard. I appreciate that, bro.
Hell yeah, dude. Matt, if there's a second print and it's symbiotic, he's got it.
Matt's got it.
And if it ain't gold labeled, it fucking will be, baby.
Will be.
That's what I love about it. That's what I love about it. So just to touch back on the whole just cover saturation. Like it's a weird situation for me personally, because it's cool to see comic books thriving in such a way. It's cool to see these shops thriving. They're not hurting. But at the same time, that 1 in 1,000 that we all got is now not as rare as it should be, and that's where it's kind of like.
Does anybody know if they're making a blank on the new Venom?
Yes, they are. It's black.
I fucking hate the black ones.
I kind of like.
They're kind of hard.
Too much, man. You didn't miss too much.
They're kind of hard to like. They're kind of hard for me to kind of get something on.
Do you guys hunt those Walmart variants? I do, just the Venom ones, but I'm not expecting like, holy shit, guys! Look at this! Like, it's a freaking Walmart
I will
variant.
hunt it as long as it's not just the color variant of the title. Like if they just make the name blue or Scream's name yellow, I'm like, all right, that's cool, but it's not really. If it's a cover, then yeah, I'm all about it. Like when Ryan Stegman did that Walmart cover. And it just was for Walmart. Remember that one? It's like all black, and then it's like the Ryan Stegman and the moon.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yes,
that one was dope. Like that one, I think you picked it up for me, Joe, and we traded for something. But that one, I had to hunt down, because it's like if Walmart's putting out exclusive artwork, then I'm in, because that's a rarity. Because not all Walmarts get it. I've been Walmart hopping. And they're like, they didn't even know if they have a comic section in some Walmarts. It's kind of crazy.
Well, as far as I know, when they print out 25 of those Walmart books, they don't shit out a fucking 1 in 25 ratio. So I'm cool with them. And if they are, I'm a stupid idiot. If it's the same cover and the colors change on the fucking logo, I'm an idiot, guys. I'm an idiot.
That's not nice.
It's $7. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Every collector's different, bro. Every collector's different.
I still got a little bit of the completionist kicking, but I'm trying to. Thank you, baby.
See, I'm like super frugal. I'm like, do I want to have this take up space? Is this something I'm gonna keep, or is this something I'm gonna have to like sell later or pawn off to somebody? Like,
see, I just start to think to myself like, if it's just something I want and it's not something that I see blowing up that I could potentially trade later on down the line or sell later on down the line towards another symbiote book, then I just get one.
He does it. He gets it.
Yeah, I just get one.
He gets it.
Yeah. What do you guys think about this new series, man? I'm fucking excited.
I'm excited, dude. I'm really excited. I mean, Romvi is doing such a great job. He's going through the leagues, just like some well-known writers like Donny Cates, Scott Snyder. He's doing a fantastic job on Swamp Thing, the new Swamp Thing. So like knowing that gives me really, really high hopes for this as well. But seeing Dylan as Venom, like, I think it's cool, to be honest. I think it's going to be cool that he's going to do the whole chain thing. He's going to be part of the chain gang. But I think, as just off of like my thoughts and feelings right now, I think it will get old with me for a little while, and I'm just going to want to see Eddie Brock back as Venom.
I can see a lot of us eventually reaching that point. By the way, Kevin, I'm gonna top
Yes,
off
sir.
what you sent me. Cheers, gentlemen.
There you go.
I don't really drink that much, so I've just been nursing that thing. But I figured, why not drinking that while I'm sitting here?
So I
What,
should pour a glass with you. Damn it.
Next time, man, let's just get sauced and just talk mad shit.
I'm down.
I want a standalone sleeper series. I completely agree. And not only that, I want a solo Agent Anti-Venom series.
Yes.
I can see that happening too.
I think that would be great. If the stars were to align and I were to somehow, I'm just letting you fellas know now, I don't know what the hell is going on. Spencer Setters, you can go fuck yourself. Nah, that's my boy. So I don't really know what's going on right now. Shameless plug. I'm not going to go too much into detail, but the cover deal thing. If I get a chance to do Venom, I swear to fucking God, gentlemen, mark my words. Mark my words. I'm going to get seriously involved with that. Just beyond, drawing a cover. If I could somehow pitch to them like, hey, a sleeper series or Agent Anti-Venom series, I feel like I got enough knowledge to be able to pull that off, and I would so die a happy person if that ever came true.
Make
but
it
enough
happen,
fantasizing. Enough fantasizing, you know what I'm saying? This isn't Fantasyland.
This is ASMR now.
So, you know what I'm saying?
You like Venom. I like Venom. We all like Venom.
How fucking how weird. This is for all the weirdos out there. This is the small. So, I don't really know Ram V or say, never
Ram
heard of
V.
him. Hearing that you're saying that you've been reading the Swamp Thing series, and that he's actually writing it, I can see how that, definitely catches your attention.
Yeah, he's killing it with Swamp Thing.
I did not realize at first that there was going to be two writers. When they announced Joe Bennett, I was like, look, he's been doing great with Immortal Hulk next to Venom and Thor. That was at least one of the top 3 books selling at Marvel at the time. So I'm very excited to see that. Yeah, I probably said something wrong. I'm a fucking moron. But yes, seeing Al go to Venom, it was like, cool. I know we're in good hands story wise. I'm still not completely sold on Brian Hitch, and that's no offense to Mr. Brian Hitch. I think if he were to do the Green Lantern, he would absolutely knock it out of the fucking park. But Ivan Coelho should have gotten the Venom job.
Yeah,
Ivan, my heart breaks for you, man. My heart breaks.
Yeah.
Every issue that he did was just so much more fun to read, just because his artwork was so like in your face.
It's
like
just incredible.
It was perfect. It was spot on.
I loved it. I mean, I absolutely love Ryan Stegman's work. I think he's one of the best in the game. But when Coelho got on there, it was like refreshing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, oh wow, this is outstanding.
His artwork to me actually changed the tone of the story for me.
Yes.
Like I kind of took it a little more seriously, to be honest, than Ryan Stegman's artwork.
Well, I enjoyed Stegman. I've been enjoying Stegman. He got put on my map with Superior Spider-Man, and
I'm not saying that I don't like Stegman. I like Stegman's artwork. No beef on Stegman, but I don't know.
There's no beef, and I will hop on to what you're saying, and I will agree. I think if you were to have Ryan Stegman versus Ivan Coelho and just draw Venom, I think Ivan is just going to fucking murder that shit. Stegman ain't going to go out, he's going to go out swinging. He might even come out on top for all we know, but I just have a feeling if you were to, have them do a literal art competition of Venom, Ivan Coelho is just going to murder that shit.
Yeah, Ivan Coelho was so good. There was that panel, I don't remember the issue, but like there was that that mugger or thief running down the alleyway, and you just had that one half shot of the symbiote smiling, and you had Eddie Brock smiling as well. Like that panel was beautiful. Do you guys know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah,
it's great.
His art is just super gritty. Stegman's is definitely gritty too. Stegman's it's like I don't even know how to put it into words. I can't even properly explain it, but I'm no way hating on Stegman. I feel like the way he drew Null back in issue 3. I can't explain it. Ivan Coelho definitely, if he would have been drawing that issue, yeah, it would have been badass. But like Ryan put a certain touch on Null that I don't think anybody else would have pulled off. So,
and I think that makes sense because he co-created that character. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You definitely get the feel of the energy that he put into that character. You muted, Joe. There you go.
Yeah, I am sorry. My dog. I yelled and my dog started barking. So we're pretty much at 53 minutes. Guys down to make it like another 20 minutes. I'd say like an hour and a half long video. So real quick, just an example of certain things I'd like to be able to do with this channel. So I've heard through multiple people, certain people have had the luxury to be able to see the new Venom series already, and I've heard through multiple people that going back to what we were talking about, and I'm going to use it as a position or a segue to the next subject I want to talk about. But Null's definitely not done, and I'm just going to go ahead and leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to leave it at that. So let's go ahead and segue to everyone's favorite topic, the Venom movies. My fucking favorite topic, dude. I've been waiting.
I have bitter beer face on right now.
Waiting. Oh man.
No.
Oh.
Watching that movie is the equivalent of taking Robitussin.
I know I want to get vulgar on this show, but I could get real vulgar of what the equivalent of what that movie was. So I just did a podcast with the guys from Nerd Pop recently. It's on Spotify right now. I had the link on my bio. I'm gonna have to post it back up. But we talked about it, and one of the things I got to tell them, and halfway through, I feel like I didn't get to fully get my point out. So I guess I'll go ahead and do it right now. So for me personally, and I feel like for you guys as well, we invest so much of our lives into this character. We have so much love for this character. It's kind of undeniable. These movies, watching them was like having someone come up, spit in your face, kick you in the fucking balls, backhand you, and then pull your soul out like through your ear or something. I don't
fucking
know.
Shang Tsung you, dude.
Dude, your soul is mine.
That was beautiful, dude. That was awesome.
Like,
so true. So true.
I'm getting caught up with the comments. Shut up, Barry. Shut the fuck up, Spencer. Anyway, it was just, I don't know how to explain it, man. See, I've always liked Batman. You know, everybody fucking loves Batman. He's had so many movies. Let me just bring up George Clooney for a second. George Clooney and the way that people look at his Batman is how I feel about these goddamn Venom movies. What we should have got was a Christopher Nolan type of vibe with a little bit of humor. So I just, in my eyes,
you just made it worse for me, Joe, by saying that. Wow, fuck.
That's what I'm here for, my man. That's what I'm here
for.
But look,
man,
I think these movies are pure disrespectful garbage. With that being said, I can respect that so many people are excited about it, and this is what I was kind of saying. I can respect that. If you like the movie, that's awesome. I don't think anything bad about you. But if you expect
but look at the people who like these movies, though.
That's fine. That's fine. Everybody deserves a little bit of Venom. You know, if they really want to get into it, that's what the fuck these things are for. But it's fine. It kind of expanded the Venom fan base tremendously. I'm not gonna lie. From what I've seen, it's definitely expanded tremendously. Which, if they start getting into the comics, that just makes these things a little bit more sought after, a little bit more rare. It is what it is. I can respect that people like this movie, and they like, you know. I haven't seen the second one because I could give 2 out of 3 shits. I feel like the commercials pretty much told me it all, and then thanks to the beauty of YouTube, I've seen all the major parts. So I ain't missing them. But I saw one. I wanted to screen record it so bad, but when they showed it was the final, the credit scene for Venom 2, and they showed what they showed. This dude was like, Spider-Man! Like, and the whole theater was just screaming. And something about that, it was just beautiful. It was like, that's fucking cool. None of these people might even know who the fuck Anti-Venom really is or anything like that, you know. But seeing cool, like, I get it. Venom's fucking cool. You can put glow sticks on him, and people still think he's fucking cool. You know what I mean? Like, I can respect that. I can respect that. I'm just letting you all know that shit rips my soul apart. So, what you guys think of Venom 2? Whoever wants to go.
Just end the show.
Yeah,
Just end the show.
And that's a wrap.
Oh, dude.
Shut it the fuck down.
Matt, you go first.
well, I mean, so,
Hold on, real quick. I did, dude. I saved my money. I saved my money.
This, I mean, this goes for the first movie too, but the second movie really like just pounded home like this is not for comic book readers. This is for the masses. This is for the world as we know it that's never read a comic book, and that's who they're trying to please. And it's funny because I took my wife to see it. My wife's never read a Venom comic book. You know, I wholeheartedly admit that.
Wow, she needs an
love her,
award,
love her to
dude.
death.
She's looking at you differently now, ain't she?
Which is fine, but that means when we see the movie, like I'll see her reaction, I'll see mine, and the whole time I hated myself for sitting in that seat, and the whole time looking over at her, and she loved it. She was laughing. She was like, "This is cool. This is fun," you know. And it gets me thinking, like, these movies in general is to just get the non-fans going, because that's the majority of people going to the movies. It's not the people reading the stuff. Think of the percentage of people that go to the comic book store every Wednesday to buy this title, and the people that actually go to watch this movie.
Do you know how many
not
people?
a comparable scale. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, my 2 cents is this movie is made for people who don't read comics.
Exactly.
Everyone that reads comics is gonna hate it, and they should hate it. And if they read comics and they like it, then we got to have a major sit down and just talk about your values and morals, because no, like there's nothing about that movie that's accurate or enjoyable for any Venom fan on the planet. It doesn't make sense to me. The Maximum Carnage storyline got shit on. Shriek got shit on. Carnage, Cletus, everybody is not who they seem to be in the books from the movie. It's all a fucking lie. Excuse my French. It doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry, Tom Hardy is amazing in every other movie that he's in except Venom. He's the worst Eddie Brock on the fucking planet. And I really hate that he's such a little bitch. Like, the character's not a little bitch. Anyways, I could go on forever about how much I hate this movie, dude. I was enraged in the theater, and I wanted to walk out so many times, but I couldn't leave my wife. But yeah, it was atrocious. That's my adjective for that movie.
So first of all, your wife needs to get an award for watching this movie. Like, dude,
you're just lucky she thought it was cool and she wasn't turning around like, you fucking nerd motherfucker.
Dude. Yeah. If I brought my wife to go see Venom, if I forced her to go watch Venom and she saw that piece of shit of a film, dude, I would have divorce papers on my desk by tomorrow in the morning, dude.
You would have 300s for sale immediately.
Yeah. She's like, I'm taking all those 300s away from you. No. Dude, this movie, man, fuck. Okay, so first of all, I had very, very high hopes for this movie. I thought that I was going to actually like this movie better than the first one, because that totally makes sense, right? That's how it should have worked. But I actually like the first movie more than this movie. But again, the first movie I still didn't really like. Okay, the first movie to me was sort of it's not good, but it wasn't bad. The second movie, the whole thing was bad. I was in the theater, the movie starts. 9 seconds into this movie, I already knew how bad it was going to be because there's a scene where you see Shriek and Cletus at their orphan home, and so they use younger actors because we're going in the past, and so they use the original actors. They use uh whatever the fuck his name is, who plays Cletus. I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank. Woody L. Harris. They have them voice over the young teens who are in that scene, and I was like, that doesn't look fucking right, and it sounds awful. Like this company gave themselves more work by doing that. Like, why can't they just have these young actors say the fucking lines? That doesn't make any sense. So I was already pissed off with like 10 seconds of the movie, dude. And it was just awful, dude. I mean, so going back to what, with who the people who are watching this movie, again, they haven't read a comic book like Matt said. And the people who watch this movie think this is what Venom is actually about. They think Venom is a funny guy. And like, this movie or Sony has tried so hard, or is trying really, really hard to make Venom into Deadpool, and that's not what he is, okay? I don't mind a little bit of comedy here and there, but a Venom movie to me should not be comedic, okay? I waited so fucking long for these movies to come out. I was in high school when Sony was talking about having a Venom movie and how dark and gritty it was going to be. And I was like, dude, I cannot wait to see this fucking movie. And then this is the kind of shit that we get, dude. Like, I'm in this movie theater.
Read this.
That's so true, though. That's so true. He was a pushover.
Yeah, and I'm just in the movie theater, so pissed. Like, I can't believe I waited this long just to get this piece of shit of a film, dude. Like, holy fuck. Venom.
Dude,
okay, so Carnage looks pretty cool. Carnage actually looks pretty decent in the movie. Carnage looks pretty good. Okay. But when he breaks out of that jail, dude, and every time he touches someone and it's not a kill, it's super fucking disappointing. Like, Carnage would not be picking up this dude with a tendril and throwing him. This dude should be fucking in half right now, or decapitated, or maybe both. And he's not Frenching people to death either. Oh my god!
Dude.
When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, "What is this, dude? What is happening?"
When I saw that in the trailer, that's when I made the conscious decision to not go see it in theaters.
Yeah, dude. I was watching it and I was thinking of you right away because you and I almost, we're pretty tight. You know what I mean? And I was like, dude, if Joe sees this movie, he's gonna fucking burn the theater down.
That's why I haven't gone. For public safety reasons, that is why I have not gone to see
it. He's gonna tell everybody to get out, and he's gonna burn the theater down.
Yeah, maybe that's what I should do. Just everybody. Please
that's about it, dude.
I'm gonna fuck this place up.
That's pretty much it. And like what Matt said too, I agree. Like, Tom Hardy is a fantastic actor, but him as Eddie Brock, no bueno.
He's missing it. Yeah, he's really missing it. It just doesn't feel natural. Doesn't feel natural at all. Like, usually when I sit down and watch movies, and I hate to bring it up again, Batman, all those movies, I immediately was just like, I'm just like grabbed and I'm into this. Like, damn, this is a great movie. And with Venom, it was just like, I just felt myself, sinking.
You're just there. You're just there, shaking your head like,
more and more into the abyss. And I would occasionally glance up and look at my friends, and they're looking at me like, "This is your fucking boy. This is it.
This is what you talk about all the time, dude. What the fuck?"
I almost had to break up with my girlfriend. I almost had to, leave my roommates and just vanish and just. It was so like. I felt so fucked up, man. Like, it was just like, oh, this is embarrassing for me.
And then the huge.
You ever feel secondhand embarrassment? I felt it watching that movie, and it was just like, this ain't good.
And the huge kick in the balls is that end credit scene, dude, where like he becomes part of the MCU, and it's just like, by the way, none of this fucking matters, because we're just going to restart this shit. And it's like, so are you going to do it the right way now? Because I don't think you are. But like, what was the whole point of these two movies if you were just going to reboot everything?
So I have some theories with that. I'll try and get these out really quick. Let's just say hypothetically, they really are paying attention to what the actual Venom fans are, because contrary to belief, there's a lot of people out there like, ooh, Venom is great, but there's a lot more out there like, what the fuck was that? I feel like, it's a huge difference in the fan approval. But let's just say they actually listened. First thing that was being complained about, how you gonna have Venom without Spider-Man? Well, guess what, bitches? We got fucking Spider-Man. All right. Second thing they bitched about, Woody Harrelson, he's too fucking old, and all that fucking hairstyle. Well, fucking fix his wig, and by the end of the movie, everyone will eat his fucking face, and he's done. All right, there you go. And we had contracts, and everyone knew this movie was gonna happen. Contracts are done. Here you go, Mr. Harrelson. Go fuck off with your millions of dollars, and now we can focus on the MCU. Now, here's the thing, okay? So, in the comics, I don't remember exactly which one. It's like Peter Parker, Spider-Man, issue whatever. John Romita does the art. So Eddie at one point tells Cletus, just straight shit talks him like, I'm going to fucking come take that symbiote from you and I'm going to fucking eat it. You know what I mean? And he does. Cletus gets locked up. I mean, don't even get me started on that. But Venom is not hentai, people. Let's just get that out there. Venom is not hentai. So Eddie goes as Venom, visits Cletus at the cell, tears the symbiote from him. You know what I mean? Kind of like how Carnage did to Lee Price in the prison, just rips the codex from him or whatever, and proceeds to just eat it. He just eats it and walks out of the prison. And like a few weeks later, it starts to reject from the symbiote, and it starts like coming out, and just like how like him and Riot were like, you know what I mean, in the first movie,
just like that, melding together.
And it came back out of Venom. It slithers off, goes and finds Cletus in prison, and becomes Carnage again. So we now have Venom in the MCU. That, in my mind, if they follow the comic books at all, that fucking Carnage symbiote is going to reject. You know? They've never really explained why, but how often do you see symbiotes eating each other?
They're not gonna fucking think that far ahead into it.
They fucking better.
But no, they're not, dude.
Hold up.
No, they're fucking not.
Hold up. Time out. They fucking better. All right? They better.
Dude, okay. You know why it's not,
Carnage is done.
Yeah, no, this is what I'm saying. Carnage never existed now. They're going to revamp Carnage. Carnage is going to come back willy-nilly. And it's almost like he never bit his head off. He never ate the symbiote. No, that's going to
No. Venom's going to shit out Woody Harrelson's head and keep it moving. You know, that's done. I believe that 100%. Like, they killed... Okay, so now we're dealing with multiverses with all these movies. So in that universe, that Cletus Cassidy is gone, and Eddie and Venom just went to the MCU universe. And in my mind, he's got the Carnage symbiote with him that could potentially reject and go to somebody else. Now, hear me out. My friend, my dude from the comic shop I go to, Twilight Zone Comics, a long time ago, when Red Goblin was coming out, he talks to all these people on Twitter, a bunch of people from Cali, and they all have some sort of connections, and they've told him about, you know, movie news prior, and it's sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, but it's never like fucking ridiculous. So he's like, yeah, you know, there's a lot of speculation with these guys out there that they want to bring the Red Goblin to the MCU, and I'm like, that is fucking retarded. I'm sorry to say the R word. I really have to work on that. I'm just going to put that out there. But that's ridiculous. It's a brand new character. I know there's a lot of hype around Red Goblin right now, but like, tell your boys to tone it back a little bit. Like, pump the brakes. I've heard came out.
No hype about Red Goblin. This is the first I've heard Red Goblin.
I've heard it, and it was a long time. I kind of laughed it off. Like that's absurd. So we were just talking about it the other day. Now with this MCU, Venom is now in the MCU universe, which also has Doctor Octopus. William Dafoe is the Green Goblin. We got Electro is going to be in there. So let's just say Venom and Spider-Man team up at some point, right? And they're like fighting the Sinister Six, basically. Which Venom is a part of the Sinister Six at one point, but ultimately I'm expecting a team up. So they're all fighting, you know, it's all action packed, and Tom Hardy's just, you know, mumbling words the whole time, and then bam, the Carnage symbiote starts to come out of the Venom symbiote, and you know, what's going on, and it breaks free from him and jumps on William Dafoe as the Green Goblin, and we will have Red Goblin in the MCU.
Okay, that would be cool. That would be
That's
sick.
a
Think about
major
that.
stretch, extreme stretch.
It's such a stretch, but it's such a fucking possibility right now.
Okay. I want to back up, and then I want everyone to simply imagine the post-credit scene real quick.
That
How,
would be it.
in God's name, does Venom recognize Peter Parker and Eddie Brock does not? That
so
is
glad.
the question we should all be asking.
I'm so glad. All right, I'm gonna blow.
How on earth are they going to explain a spider symbol on Venom without the transition between, you know, the whole Sin Eater thing with Eddie Brock being a journalist and the church and everything else, without explaining the history? That is
Preach, brother, preach.
like when he blows up and he licks the TV. I'm like, someone please get their ducks in a row and explain to me how on earth this is gonna work.
I'm going to. All right, I'm gonna lay some absolute speculating bullshit on you. But are you ready for this?
I mean,
it better be better than Red Goblin and Defoe.
Bro, really think about that. Because when he first told me a year ago, I was like, "That's fucking hilarious." And you brought it up the other day, and I just remember me and him standing across from each other, like,
dude, people who are making these movies don't even fucking know who Red Goblin is. All they know is the basic bitch villains. That's it. They're like, what? There's a Red Goblin? What the fuck is that? Oh, it's a Green Goblin, but red. Oh, wow. Well, they don't even know, dude.
Well, the podcast I was on, the one guy, I forget the name. I'm sorry. He was pointing out like Marvel Contest of Champions. Whenever they bring characters into that game, it's kind of like a sign, like this is what Marvel's they're trying to push. We did get that Red Goblin, Red Death out of completely fucking nowhere, which I think something's coming back from that. We still got Eduardo. Something's coming back from that. Red Goblin, I don't think he's out of the picture. Just like what would happen with Anti-Venom, I think it's about to happen with Red Goblin. But hear me out. So here's the answer. Eddie is pretty much laying in bed, you know, and he's like talking to Venom the whole time in his brain, like something about secrets, and you know, Eddie's just kind of like, oh, you know, what are you hiding stuff from me? And he's just like, you know, we symbiotes have 80 million years of hive knowledge collected through multiverses. All right. And he's like, what do you mean? And then obviously whatever the fuck Doctor Strange just did, it's kind of like a wave effect. And they got pulled in to the MCU. I think that connects with the Loki series because they just killed Kang. And he said if you do that, like all the multiverses, they're just going to go crazy. So a lot of shit went wrong. He gets pulled in to that multiverse. And right away, it's J. Jonah Jameson like talking about Spider-Man. And Venom, if you watch that scene, not Venom, but Eddie, he's like, you know, what's going on? The symbiote doesn't know what's going on. And then it shows like a front camera view of Eddie. And for the first time ever, they accurately show how they communicate because you don't hear anything. And Eddie just goes, what? And then uncontrollably turns into Venom, stands up and goes, that guy, and like licks the TV. What he's saying is, he already told him, the Venom, Topher Gracie from that universe shared its knowledge with Tom Hardy's Venom. So they just explained the fucking hive. And who owns the hive?
No. My mom.
No.
Yeah,
your mom owns the hive. You might want to get on top of that.
That's a stretch. So hold on. So what you're saying is that
He said it, bro. He said it.
Topher Grace's Venom is the real MCU Venom, and this new Ed Hardy Venom is like the Codex version. That's what you're saying.
No, I think there is no MCU version.
He's saying that pretty much with the Topher Grace Venom being a symbiote, technically connected to the Hive, that Venom, from what we know in the movies, is being connected to the Hive as well, is connecting with that Topher Grace Venom and knows who Spider-Man is.
It said it has symbiotic knowledge throughout the multiverse.
I just don't see how there can be any verse where Peter Parker and Eddie Brock don't know each other. That's what I don't.
Well, that's the beauty of these stupid movies, and now they're bringing it together. So Tom Hardy will be the official, whatever universe, MCU Venom, but we still had the other universe, the Ramsey universe or whatever, and that had a Venom, and they blew his ass up. But why else would Venom know who Spider-Man is? After he literally just said, I share multiverse symbiotic knowledge with a Hive, and then he recognizes Spider-Man. That's your freaking answer. I don't think he knows that it's the Tom Holland Spider-Man, but he knows that suit. He knows what it is. So I'm expecting that, man. They're going to say something about that. But that right there was a direct hint of Null bringing up the multiverse hive mind. If you think about it, Eddie Brock in the comics at the end of the Kate series, he can go anywhere in the multiverse and take over any symbiote and in any timeline. So they just connected that. No one fucking noticed it. I haven't even seen the damn movie, and I was able to be like, holy shit, that is crazy. And hold on. If you need more proof about the Null theory, please go see Thor Love and Thunder in theaters.
No, I definitely think that the Null thing is coming to fruition. I mean, Gore the God Butcher is going to open the door wide open. You are right.
Yep.
But if we think about these Venom movies from Sony, the Venom symbiote in those movies did not have a host before Eddie Brock because it was in space. Because the Life Foundation went and stole it from space. So where in between space and Eddie Brock was there Peter Parker?
There wasn't.
So
they weren't supposed to ever meet, and then
I don't know where they're interjecting the history with Peter Parker unless there's a different symbiote that bonded with him and now is communicated through the hive mind to this Venom. That would mean there's two Venom symbiotes, not just one.
Yeah,
you know what my theory is?
There definitely was two Venom symbiotes.
I think shit is fucked.
Yep, Kevin, I'm with you, and I will continue to say that it's fucked. And any explanation they give me, I'm not going to receive.
It absolutely is. But boys, I'm just going to go ahead and say, I think we've been dealing with the onslaught of Venom pertaining these comic covers and all this shit. We're about to get it in the MCU. I think the next few movies are going to revolve heavily around building up Null. And if you really think about it, it's kind of sprinkled all throughout the MCU prior. The severed head nowhere, Null is responsible for that. He is the one who severed the celestial head. So there's that. And I've been saying it since day one, man. Them freaking four-arm things that Thanos has, they remind me of symbiotes. And then we got Absolute Carnage, and all Carnage's little buddies had 4 arms. So I wouldn't be fucking surprised if they do some shit and it's like, oh my god, they've been planning this all along. You know what I mean? Like, I feel it.
We'll see. The whole MCU thing, I have to keep separating it from all the literature that I've read regarding these characters, just because none of it is as accurate as it should be. None of it.
No. And I 100% agree. It's just fascinating. I think if Null and all that stuff were to become a thing and be in the MCU, I expect to see Venom take a very serious turn. And then as far as getting the Spider Emblem, all it takes is for something to happen where the suit jumps off of Eddie and takes over Spider-Man, tries to you know what I mean? If the old Venom that was bonded to Andrew, no, what's his name? Topher Gracie or whichever one of them bastards, but the old Venom that bonded to Spider-Man in that universe, like, so Tom Hardy's Venom would know. I just have a feeling it's going to try to bond with Spider-Man, like, you know, something weird's going to happen.
I always thought that they could have just, you know, without Spider-Man, I always thought like a good way or a creative way of him getting the spider was like, for instance, obviously Venom doesn't know what a spider is, so when he comes to Earth, he sees sort of like a spider, like, you know, wrapping up a bug, and like, oh, like that's what I want to do with, like, you know, these with these criminals, like, you know, I want to be like a spider, and then, like, you know, forms the spider on his chest or something. Or I've also always thought that since he's in Los Angeles, I always thought about him watching TV, like the post-credit scene. I actually thought this was going to happen. I thought they were going to take my idea, people. I thought he was always going to maybe see Spider-Man be a do-gooder on the news, and Venom like, oh, I want to be like that guy, and then just forms the spider.
Then, yep, I remember you saying that, and
that sounds more like MCU writing to me. More appealing to the 5-year-olds out there. That sounds like it right there. I love it.
Yeah.
That's believable. I don't like it, but it's believable.
You know, if we're not going to go through the whole comic origin of it, I think that would have been like the best ways, in my opinion.
Yeah. That might happen. I'm just happy Disney is like in charge now. Like, now that Kevin Feige is going to be the one calling the shots, because they, you know, that now we're actually going to get probably some better writing. I don't want Tom Hardy to write anymore. I really don't. I'm over his scripting and the crap acting on that character.
Hold on, Tom Hardy has something to do with the script?
Yeah,
Tom Hardy did a lot of Venom's writing.
Yeah.
How the fuck is this dude so invested and loves this thing so much, and he just gives us steaming piles of shit?
Kids love it.
Well, what the hell? Kids ain't paying the bills, homeboy.
And what really makes me angry is I waited overnight outside San Diego Comic-Con back a couple years ago when the first movie came out, and the original panel when they announced the first movie, and it was supposed to give us like the first sneak preview of it, because I wanted to see like what he had to say. And he said in front of thousands of people that he was going to give the best Eddie Brock Venom performance you've ever seen, that he's read the books and he knows what he's doing, and, you know, this huge praise, and everyone in Hall H was like just roaring with excitement. And it was and they gave the teaser, and the teaser was cool. It was the first time they showed the suit, and it was cool, you know. And then the movie came out, and man, was he lying.
Why you always lying?
Yeah, so I don't know what book he was reading, but he wasn't reading the books that I've read. So
I don't know.
The second he calls himself a loser, I wanted to walk out.
Yeah,
dude. And it's not just like once or twice. Like, it's a good handful of times. Like, dude, I'm overhearing this. Like,
doesn't he bring it up in the second movie?
Yeah, multiple times.
Just multiple times.
Multiple times. Fuck.
Multiple times.
Andy Serkis,
you're a loser, Eddie.
Why would you do this?
It's god awful. It really is. So
why would Schmeagol do this to us, man?
No idea.
Schmeagol. That's my precious. God damn it. But I don't know. I think it's regardless, with the movies being what they are, and, you know, especially with the upcoming Venom series, I see a very bright future for symbiotes. It's already been blinding, but I think it's about to be very bright.
And I want to see him be more or less like Venom in the comic books. Like, when you see Venom on screen, like, he's just a hulking monster, and like he throws his weight around. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like he'll like do the, you know, his appendage will stretch out, and I think that's like, I know like the symbiote can do that, but I think it's overused in the movie, where it's like okay, like
it is
like give me a web or something. Like, you know, I know he doesn't like have the spider and the web, but like he could shoot out like a strand of web or something. You know what I mean? And like I don't know, and every time he fights somebody in his movies, he's so underpowered. I mean, like Riot had weapons, Carnage had weapons, like then Venom comes on screen, he's like, I got a stretchy arm. You know what I mean? There was that time where he like built up like the shield, and it's like, all right, if he can do that, then why can't he do anything else?
Yeah. But
I
here's a question for you guys. So now that we know how much we like hate the scripting and the writing here, so let's just say the null thing comes to fruition in the MCU. What if the null character shows up and there's no Dylan Brock? How would you feel about that?
I'd be fine with that.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I'd be kind of surprised because that's bringing in way too much at once. With the
But
Dylan
don't
Brock
you think the
series,
null
man.
character needs that like support character in there? Like he like
Not
I think
necessarily.
Dylan is a constant key to defeating him. Throughout the entire series, they always revert back to Dylan being
But he
Well,
didn't do
the
shit.
crutch.
that's the thing. The way you pointed out the MCU writing, like they could totally bring up Null and not ever bring in Dylan and all that good jazz. It would be cool to see, but I definitely don't see Dylan being tossed into the mix. But going back to what you were saying, him being the key to defeat Null, they have been pretty much building up the Venom symbiote in the movies. Like if there's a chosen one of the symbiotes, it's the Venom symbiote. Even though he's like, it's literally like what's that dickhead's name from Star Wars? Jar Jar Binks. He's just fumbling around and like, accidentally destroying armies at the same time. Like that's pretty much what Venom's doing right now.
Yeah.
Riot was about to do world domination. Venom fucked him up. Carnage comes out and he's just an unstoppable force. Venom fucked him up. And then
Somehow.
he's about to go. He's about to go. Yeah, like I said, just Jar Jar Binks in that shit. Like who's up? Who's up? Just got his glow sticks on. He's got his chickens on his shoulders and like.
This
But
is like not
they're
so
making it seem. They're making it seem very much like. I don't know. Venom is the one. So if they bring Null in, there's their fucking
this
thing.
is
They don't
something
have to
that
bring
is not just in
Dylan.
the Venom movies, but this is something that I've noticed a lot in movies in general, is where you see like the protagonist, coming up with some random bullshit to beat the villain, or they need some sort of help. And I'm really sick of that bullshit. Like I want to see a good fight and see the protagonist like get hit and get fucked up, but like just come over and just be like, yeah, I'm a fucking tough guy and I'm gonna take this guy out. You know what I mean? Like they do that with the
Yeah.
Godzilla movies. You know what I mean? And shit. Like it's not just like the Venom movies. Like Godzilla, for example, fighting up King Ghidorah. Like he would never have done it if they did the nuke bomb for him. Like it's like, can I just see my favorite character win without any like plus ups? You know what I mean? I just want to see them fucking own it. You know?
That or just act like what he actually is, a fucking evil parasitic entity.
Yeah, exactly. Like, can I just have that? Going back to the whole Dylan thing too for a second. I think like Dylan works with the comic books, and I liked his writing in the comic books. Dylan could be added into the movies, but I think like it's not necessary. But a really cool thing that could happen if they wrote it well, which I know they wouldn't, is if Anne gets pregnant somehow from the Venom symbiote, from wearing the Venom symbiote at least 2 times in these movies, and that produces Dylan. I think that would be
Well,
really
that's
cool.
what I'm saying. Like that would be cool if they actually, explain that like they did in the books. That would be, definitely a high five if they actually went that far. But at this point, I don't even see Venom disliking Spider-Man. Like, I think they're going to be buddies.
Yeah.
Do you see this
It
Eddie
does.
Brock like walking up to Tom Holland and being like, "I hate you"? Like, well,
No.
let's fight. He's going to be like,
Well,
"Dude, you're
if
doing a
his
great
symbiote-
cause. Let's join forces like from the get-go. We're never going to
If
get a
his-
Venom versus Spider-Man."
I don't know if that's what it is. Like his symbiote wants to leave and go to Spider-Man. I could see Eddie, being like, "Dude, what the hell?"
Or-
that could cause some sort of rift.
Or this Eddie Brock is really soft, so like for some reason the symbiote will have a huge problem with Spider-Man, and Eddie will be like, "Why are we doing this? Like, stop! You gotta get a hold of your regression. You gotta stop it."
I don't see Tom Holland Spider-Man going through all this bullshit, and then Venom comes walking the corner like, and he's just being like, "Oh, what's up, bro?" Like, there's gonna be a fight.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a fight. It might be quick, but there's gonna be a fight. They have to make them
It'll
fight.
be like a fight, but then they're like, "Oh, I forgot.
Like a
We're all
team
on the same
up.
side. Let's fight the bad guy together." It's gonna be like super 15 seconds. Watch.
Yeah.
Dark Mufasa was asking any hints to maybe anti-Venom. Too early to say. I highly doubt that. Unless they plan on doing a ton of movies involving Venom, I don't see that. At least asking Patrick Mulligan, and yeah, he's definitely supposed to be Toxin. And from what I've seen, it looks like he very much will be Toxin. But as far as them going back to that original universe and dicking around with Toxin, I don't see that. I could see Toxin coming over to this universe too. Maybe he'll like, we'll see like Venom sneaking around trying to follow Spider-Man, and it'll show like Patrick Mulligan like all confused, like what the fuck, like following him around. Like I could see that happening. Something's going to happen with Toxin. I don't know how they're going to go about it, but how do they go about it with no Carnage involved?
That's what Carnage I'm saying. So how do you do Toxin without Carnage, and how do you do Anti-Venom without Eddie having cancer? Like those are two huge things that need to happen.
Shit
the same
is fucked. Everything is fucked.
It's definitely fucked. Yeah.
Guys, I gotta hop out of here.
Carnage by Crane in the movie, like where him and Carnage and Venom have to like team up against Toxin. Like that would be sick. But like
that needs to happen.
Like
that definitely.
I don't even know like what. So when at the end of the movie where he's got the chain around his neck and his eyes turn blue, like, are they really alluding like to any like? Does Patrick Mulligan's eyes ever turn blue? Like I didn't really get why they did that.
Well, I don't know. Same with like Eddie when he's looking in the mirror, the first one, and he like gets all weird looking. But I
guess I would have much rather liked to see like a symbiote like start crawling up his arm or something, as opposed to his eyes turning blue. I'm like, well, is he Electro?
Well, we are now at 1:34, and I definitely appreciate you guys' time. Kevin has to go. His wife's about to DDT him, put him in a chokehold.
She's gonna give me she's giving me the cane.
Yeah,
dude, that sounds.
Bro,
that sounds like a good time. But guys, I definitely appreciate it. It's pretty fun for the first episode. This is definitely going to be, I don't know a schedule yet, but I'm definitely going to do some more. So I definitely appreciate you guys being part of the first one. Thanks for everybody sticking in the chat. There was a lot of awesome questions. Barry and Spencer, if you're still there, please proceed to go fuck yourself, and we'll call you later. And yeah, guys, thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot, guys.
Of course, bro.
So we will definitely do this again very soon. Peace, guys. Thanks for hanging out.
See ya.